All right, next up we have kind of a flurry of startup questions. So I'll just kind of hit all these really quick in one video. W/belt means with a belt. Load drops are typically 5%. You can read some of the startup documents and it'll go into a bit more detail on when to do more than that, when to do less than that. But typically if you see a load drop, then you want to reduce the weight by 5%. The density work, which is warm up to say a 7 rep max load and then perform as many repetitions as possible in a given time limit. You don't need to actually do the 7 rep max. It's just put a weight on the bar that is equivalent to a 7 rep max. Warm up as you progress up to this. Don't just put that weight on there without doing any warm ups. Maximize number of lifts means do as many repetitions as possible in the given amount of time. There's an entry in the FAQ that you were sent that should cover that. Also, I should say that you should have received a startup package, an email with a bunch of documents that has a bunch of instructions. If you didn't get that, let me know and I'll send it to you. I've been having problems getting people to receive that lately, and I'm not sure exactly why. So if you didn't get it, let me know and I'll send it again. 3 count pause bench. 3 count isn't necessarily a full 3 seconds, but it's if you're like me, you're training by yourself, you don't have a training partner who can count 3 full seconds to you, you're counting in your head. And it's always going to be a bit shorter than that. So I just say 3 count. Bring it down to your chest, give it a good 3 count, and then press it back up. As long as it's consistent, nobody cares. Deficit deadlift, you say, I'm doing semi-sumo deadlifts right now. My PR is semi-sumo. I like conventional, but I can't do it with a neutral spine. It gets painful after a while. I'm assuming that you're thinking that the deficit deadlift should be done conventionally. That's not my intent. If you can do the deficit deadlift safely with a sumo stance, then that's what I would prefer that you do. Now, a lot of people are doing deficit deadlifts by standing on plates. Plates tend to slide with a sumo stance. Having your feet do the splits with a heavy weight in your hand is not a good thing to have happen. So if that's what you're doing, if you can't do deficit deadlifts with your sumo stance and you do them safely, then don't do them at all. I would rather see you do additional pause deadlifts rather than do deficit deadlifts dangerously. Now, if you have your own gym or something like that and you would like to do deficit deadlift safely, what I would recommend is getting a board, something like 2x10 or 2x12 that's just under the length of the bar, so you can put that on underneath the bar. You can set your feet to a sumo stance if that's what you want to do. Now you're training at a deficit and the board isn't going to slide. You're not going to have that same danger level. Then finally, you ask for the GPP work, are all exercises supposed to be done one day or split them up after each workout? You can do that either way you want. I just want you to get through the GPP work once, maybe twice a week. Just get through it however you like. You can do it on a separate day. You can do it a bit after each training session, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It's really about whatever is convenient and most appealing to you at that point. So let me know if you have any additional questions. Let me know if you didn't receive that startup package as well.